結唔結婚啊？見到咪結咯，見唔到咪唔結咯。
Hi, I'm Phil McCracken. Welcome to the Silver Spleen. This is my review of Marriage with a Liar. I watched this film at the Dynasty. And let's face it, that's where Patrick, my surprise endings are so predictable they're not surprises at all. Kong's films should be seen. That is, assuming they should be seen at all. A very debatable question. But remember, I watch movies, so you don't have to. The same could ostensibly be said for touching myself, if not for the sake of decency, then just accuracy. But that would make this review trashy, puerile, overly sexualized, which it ought to be, since Marriage with a Liar is all of those things and more. Sadly, those are the film's only real strong points, and in an odd way, its only socially redeeming value. The filmmaking is laughable, which does have some humor value, I must admit, but the film in general is such a mess. That's why I was glad I watched it at the Dynasty. For 40 Hong Kong dollars, I could still complain, but not as much. A young couple plans on being married. They fuck other people. End credits. Simple enough, I assume. Yet among the mess, there are reasons to actually enjoy the film. None of them are very good reasons, but let me at least try to tell you why this film amused me rather than enraged me. As I said at the beginning, this film is just absolutely full of tawdry, exploitative sexuality. Granted, if you cast Chrissie Chau as your lead, you're not chasing the Shakespeare demographic. There are no bird watchers in attendance, but everyone's looking at the tits. Chrissie Chau's breasts are so big that even I notice them. I'm not mammarily driven, per se. I do, however, notice anomalously large breasts. And she has 2 of them. So too does her romantic antagonist, E. Cup Carroll. I'm not making that up. The actress's English name is E. Cup Carroll. Why? Maybe because Fitty Tucker was too hard to pronounce. Maybe because each of her breasts is bigger than my fucking head. Her breasts are so big that every time I saw them on screen, I just kept saying, God damn, those are big titties. And I have a PhD. But honestly, I couldn't help it. Those things are just... So, the Fantastic Four of breasts feature heavily in this bra-buster film. Marriage with a Liar is also a film worth noting because Chrissie Chau is surrounded by people whose acting is either as bad or as non-existent as her own. Marriage with a Liar redefines the point at which a film stops being a drama or even a story and becomes 90 minutes of NG footage just spliced together into some minimal narrative sense, with credits at each end. These people can't even act like they're acting. Law Chung-him is a rotten actor. He sucks. He's horrible. But he still rules, because he got to do a love scene with Chrissie and a love scene with E. Cups Runneth Over Carol. Topless love scenes. He gets to be the mayor of Titty City in this movie, and I'll never even get to run for city council. The best thing I can say about this film, and I say it with all sincerity, is that it's relentlessly crass, piggish, and trashy. Now, those things are not virtues even by my own set of rather twisted standards. But in the context of local film, actually they are. It's refreshing to watch a film with characters that are so irredeemable, sluttish, and shameless. This film is not going to play in China unless you cut it up so much that it's about the length of an MV. So for that, I have to give Patrick Kong credit. Once you begin to realize and actually take into account how thoroughly asexual 98% of Hong Kong films are, you begin to see why it's so different and in some ways refreshing to watch young people behave like real young people. Marriage with a Liar is an excruciating wallow through bad cinema, but it still manages in small but significant ways to redeem itself. Don't misunderstand me, I'm not actually suggesting you should watch this travesty. But if you do see it on TV or something, just realize that it's not the worst way you could spend 90 minutes. That would be watching Murderer. Now if you watch this movie, buy it. Don't download it. There are links down there where you can buy this movie. And that's what I really want you to do. What else do I want you to do? If you enjoy the review, leave a comment. If you don't enjoy the review, leave me a comment. If you enjoy my reviews, I would appreciate a subscription. And just remember, of all the cities in the world, this is one of them.